Hello, this is Sidepocket slash Jordan. I'm recording this because even though this is a gamer topic I'm going to be talking about, I even though I do represent StreetPass NYC, I'm putting this on my normal YouTube channel because this video does not reflect the views of StreetPass NYC. This is purely my own opinion and views, so I do not want anyone to get mixed up in that because just in case I say anything crazy, it's hard not to go crazy because of the whole incident with Sandyhook, which has really bothered me because obviously, I mean, a crazy person shot his own mom and then went to some school with little kids and using a fully automatic rifle, which I don't even know why would you even need that to kill little kids. He killed all those little kids. And it's just, that's horrifying. But what I think is also horrifying is how the news media is once again trying to use video games and movies and pop culture in general as a excuse to the horrific acts of this man. Thus, in my opinion, taking the levity and the severity of this man's own actions and instead placing the blame on inanimate objects that had nothing to do with this, thus cheapening the horrificness of the event. Now, as everyone probably knows, I'm a huge video gamer, and I'm mainly a Nintendo gamer, but I feel like I have a sort of variety going because I love my Kirby cutesy games. I have a ton of these. I even have Kirby's Epic Yarn. And on the Wii, I also had one of the goriest games ever made, Mad World. Awesome game if you don't have it. Really good story, really good game mechanics. Please get this. And of course, when I bought my Wii U for launch, I had my awesome cutesy platformer game of New Super Mario Bros. U. And naturally, I also got Call of Duty Black Ops 2 because I'm a big Call of Duty fan. And this is also a very good game, and it actually has a very good storyline, but enough of that. I just wanted to show this sort of variety here because I'm really angry that, in general, people think that gamers are somehow all violent psychopaths, and I'm going to get a little bit into that why later on, but there's two main things I want to talk about this video, and the first main thing is that I really wish I could talk on the news media because I've been seeing these psychologists and these parents and advisories and people like that talk about video games and our violent culture, and yes, I completely agree that our culture is very violent. I do agree that most of the movies that I hear people talking about involve people punching each other in the face and people shooting giant holes through each other or getting murdered or decapitated or raped or whatever, this is that. But it irks me that everyone views this sort of media as an outside thing invading in. Like some, demonic entity somewhere makes these Mad Worlds and Call of Duties and Dark Knight Rises and stuff and just puts them in. Maybe this is a sign of that all of our advisors are really old and none of them are around my age and I'm 25. But they see it as an outside looking in instead of the way I see it, which every time I get brought up of, video games make people violent, I always have to ask the question of, well, what video games did Hitler play that made him go crazy and kill all the minorities and Jews? Which video games did the lynchers play in the South that inspired them to hunt down African Americans and hang them? Which video games did Attila the Hun and Pol Pot and Osama bin Laden and all of these people, Caesar, all these people play throughout human history that caused them to do absolutely horrific, violent acts? And I think part of our insanity with this is what that man did is part of our species. We are an extremely violent species. It's not that the media makes us violent, it's that our nature as a violent species is reflected into our media. And we should actually be very hopeful for that because we're allowing our media to express our violent tendencies rather than our own actions expressing our violent tendencies for the most part. So it really irks me that, I think what's disturbing us about this incident is that if we were led down a wrong path with our raising, or if we were truly mentally disturbed, any one of us could have been that man. And I think that really bothers us, and that's why we're willing to blame this on video games and movies and the weather and Satan and all these other things than looking at the mirror and seeing this is how we truly are. And in fact, when they keep asking what these young kids should learn about this, we should tell them the truth. We should tell them, welcome to the adult world. This is what the world is like. I mean, we have a man who lives in a country that puts his people under slavery and horrifies people and has nukes, and that's called North Korea, and that exists. It sounds like a Marvel comic book world, but that actually exists. That's the world we live in. And I think by being honest about that, by being honest about what our nature is, I think we would be better, more equipped to deal with people like this man who blew away all those kids. The second thing is that I've been saying this since the Game Developers Conference, that as the game industry, we need to be more responsible with our media, but not in the way people think. I'm not calling for no violent video games or less violent video games. As I said, video games by nature, violence, I mean, object colliding with another object is the easiest thing to program, and of course, a bullet hitting something is the most common thing. We've had that since the early Space War games. But I think Miyamoto put it the best when he did his Game Developers Conference speech in 2007, where he showed the top 10 games back in like 1995. And there was Zelda, which was an adventure game, there was a puzzle game, there was a shooter game, and then there was football, and then there was another adventure game, and another adventure game, and then a platformer, and it was like all this variety happened. So it was really, really hard for anyone in the news media to peg video games for their problem, because it's like, what does how does Tetris go out and inspire and murder people? But now you look at the top 10 charts, and there's nothing but military shooters. And like I said, I'm a huge Call of Duty fan. I love this game. I've been playing this on PC since the second one. But I do notice, especially from when I was younger, the lack of variety. And now, of course, obviously the reason why we have so many military shooters is because people love them. But I do think if, as developers, and even though I don't develop anymore, I'm going to use the term we, if we are more willing to promote and accept, games which I'm really happy for that got awards like Journey, or even The Walking Dead, which is a violent game, but is not like a murder, quote-unquote, simulator. It's more of basically a novel done as a video game. This makes us less of an easy target. They're going to have to work harder. And by also doing other things that other groups do, like contributing to charity and truly speaking out about these issues, I think developers need to go out there and counteract these armchair psychologists and these anchormen who yell all this stuff. This is what makes our industry then mature, and this is how we would gain respect, even more respect than we do now in the public, just instead of, we make a ton of money. So, two basic things. One, it's really irking me. Gamers, we really need to talk this issue as adults about what happened, to let people know that video games and other media is a reflection of our innate nature to violence rather than a cause of violence. And I think with our both behavioral habits, our spending habits, and the type of content we create, we need to stop painting ourselves as easy, immature targets, because if we do, that's all we're ever going to be seen as. Anyway, there's a lot more I could do. I could go on for this, but I don't know if I have a 10-minute limit or not, so that's really all I wanted to say. I hope anyone that watched this long, boring video got some new insight or new perspective on the matter. I'm sorry for the shakiness. I'm doing this on my phone because my PC died, and of course my hair is crazy. So that's all I really wanted to say. This is Sidepocket /Jordan signing out. Peace.